And so we're super excited to welcome Nicole. And let me just make sure she's ready to go. But Nicole, are you ready? Because I know we're ready for you.
Yeah, take it away, girl.
Take it away.
Hi to everyone, okay, with all the different time zones. Good morning, good afternoon, and hello, okay? For those of you wondering what my title was on the website, Digital Signage Guru, well, it means basically I don't fit into any particular job title, okay? So after working in almost every aspect of digital signage from, let's say, production to dealing with vendors and dealing with the C-suite or upper management, I was always told to resolve it or just fix it. So whether it was technical, creative, software, engineering, or networking related issues on that project, I was told to either figure it out or get her done. Therefore, Rave and Avixa and DSF figured I was a decent candidate for the new tech lightning round for today and tomorrow. So I'm sincerely grateful for this opportunity. So bear with me because I'm not normally a speaker, but during this time of COVID, it's time to try some new things. So join me in learning some new things and having some fun. As the moderator, I will preside over the sponsors and field any questions that are posted within the chat room. And for the last 15 minutes, if you have any discussion questions, I will follow up then. Thank you. Okay, for the first slot today we have Sony, and I would like to introduce Kianna with Sony. Kianna, I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone. Like you mentioned, my name is Kianna Pompa. I'm the sales support engineer out in the West Coast, specifically in California. But today we will be going over and discussing our new BZ40H professional display. We have the agenda posted right here, and let's hop right into it. So Sony has a solution, it's honestly a display solution for every space. So if you're looking at a corporate, government, or even education, we have large displays for your corporate lobby, we have digital signage, we even have our SXRD line if you're looking for 4K projection or simulation, and even in meeting room spaces with our BZ40H line. So I love this line because it talks about different sizes and how they fit those verticals. So if you're looking at our professional displays, which we'll be discussing today, or the 3 LCD projectors, basically more for corporate or education, or the 4K Pro SXRDs, that's our simulation model. And then our direct view LED, if you're lucky enough to have attended one of the shows when we could travel, you might have seen our CLED wall, which is a beautiful, beautiful image, and again, fits large spaces. So if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out. But today we will be focusing on our Bravia professional displays. And specifically with the displays, I always really like to highlight our advanced 3-year replacement warranty. So what that means is that if anything goes wrong with your Bravia display, we will replace your defective unit, and this can be extended for a maximum of 5 years. So 5 years total of advanced replacement. So that's something really awesome with our Sony line. And additionally, you have local support. So I mentioned in the beginning, I'm your local sales support engineer in the West Coast. We also have them in Central and East Coast. So you have a specific Sony representative. And then on top of that, if you do have any issues with your display, our Service Pro support team is local in New Jersey, so you have that peace of mind that Sony will support you every step of the way. So we'll talk a little bit more about the features, cosmetic design, the fact that it's 24/7 operation, you can install it in portrait or landscape. But let's go get into a little bit of more detail on specifically the BZ40H line. So a couple of things that we added to this line from its predecessor is excellent picture quality. So we upgraded it with X motion clarity, extended dynamic range, and the full array LED. And we'll kind of get into what that means for you in a couple more slides. And then we'll highlight the design and functionality. So let's start with picture quality. First things first is that full array local dimming system. So previously on our BZ35F line, we reached a peak of 620 nits overall. So now with this new array, we can actually reach 850 nits. So you're going to have that really bright, high brightness display. So say in areas where you have a lot of lighting, this is perfect, where the display is going to be at the forefront and still be noticeable, especially in digital signage solutions. But we do also have a built-in ambient light sensor. So say, for example, if your room is a little bit darker, it will adjust that peak brightness to that light settings in the specific room. So very flexible in that aspect. And then we also have a triluminous display with X motion clarity. And why is this important? We have a wide range of colors. So it's going to be a rich color, and on top of that, you know, with our background in broadcast and in cinema with Sony Pictures, we want to make sure we take that even from your living room, from the theater, all the way to your corporate education and government space. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, everyone has a logo, everyone has their specific branding, and you want to make sure that that red is red and the orange is orange. So it's even more important in your corporate spaces. So have that peace of mind that the triluminous display is going to be color accurate and you're going to have a rich picture. Additionally, we do have a 4K Hdr processor with object-based HDR and super bit mapping. The 4K HDR technology with our X1 processor reproduces more depth, textures, and natural color that makes for an exceptionally realistic picture. So again, the X1 processor is key. Now the cosmetic design. So this is really by voice of the customer. We heard you, we listened, and basically the BZ40H model now has a very thin bezel, and we no longer have the Sony logo at the forefront of the display. It is now on the side. So this is perfect for video wall applications, and even more conveniently so with our system on chip, we have added a video wall application built into the display that you can access to make those installs even easier. So now we have picture quality and easy design. Now let's talk a little bit more on functionality. So I did mention system on chip. This is a really big deal because we did improve our processing power. So what that means to you is a faster boot up time, especially if you are an HTML5 or an Android developer, you build custom APKs and your response time on those applications are even faster. Digital signage, for example, if you are using content creation that has mapping or interaction, drag and drop or pinch and pull, these functionalities are going to be even more responsive with this new processor. And then we also integrated 5G and 4.2 Bluetooth, so super convenient as well. Let's talk a little bit about system on chip and what that means to you. So because you're an Android-based display, again, if you are a developer, you can build your own custom applications. So a lot of the digital signage vendors do have support for Android, and you can download their digital signage platform straight from the Google Play Store. So that means automatic updates, that means compatibility. And the best part is no external boxes to approve on your network. So say if you have a really strict security system and your Pro Bravia display is already approved on the network, you don't have to go in and ask for support of external boxes since everything plays directly on your Pro Bravia display. So reduces costs, reduces that security need, and really awesome built into the display. So a couple more on software and solutions, just because I just talked about system on chip. So what have we already built onto the display? So internally, our company has made different applications system on chip. So the first one is our simple media player, which is a completely free application that runs on a USB stick, and it will basically play out your images and video content. You can add some background music and create playlists on a schedule. Again, completely free, and we do have a link to our Knowledge Center for download at the end of this PowerPoint presentation. And then we also have our Bravia Signage server, which allows you to control 300 different Pro Bravia displays on your network. If you're interested and want to know more detail on that, tomorrow we actually have a presentation on a digital signage case study for Bravia and Bravia Signage server powered by digital signage menu boards. So stay tuned for tomorrow if you want to know more about that. And then we also have third-party cloud services with iRevo. It is a digital signage platform that you can download from the Google Play Store and send content over the cloud. So 3 different flavors on our Pro Bravia displays. That leads us into our Bravia alliances. So additionally, separate from digital signage, we also collaborate with video conferencing platforms, hotels, stadiums, device management, and room automation. So here are a couple of our partners: Crestron, Extron, Logitech, iRevo, InfoValue, Exterity, Kramer, all of those. Thank you for partnering with us, and if you want more information, feel free to reach out. Additional features on our Pro Bravia displays. So we have Pro Mode, which is probably Sony's best kept secret. It is a secret menu in our Pro Mode display. With our new BZ40H series, we do have a Pro Mode tool that makes it super easy to access. So now when you start up your Pro Bravia display and it gets shipped to you, you will see the Pro Mode tool on your home menu. You can access it and make custom configurations. IP control is also a possibility, and then we also have mirroring. So we support both Google Cast and Apple AirPlay. Key features we've added and integrated to our new BZ40H model. So what does Pro Mode mean to you and how do you access it? So we do have a ton of configurations built in that you might not need a control system for, like wake on signal, power schedule, optimizing your PC for a display, and we have custom setups. So in the Pro menu, we have one-step settings that you can just enable and your display will just basically reboot in this form. So if you have a dedicated display for a meeting room space, you can take into account all of our settings and then power up and it will be locked down for specifically meeting room. That's the same thing for signage. If you know you're going to have a signage display, it can automatically reboot to use any of the settings you see here. And then we also have customized settings that you can do yourself, but it's really convenient to do just a one-step click, saves you time on install. And all of these settings can be exported onto a USB stick and imported. So if you have more displays to set up, it gets even easier. So additionally, with IP control, we have a ton of partners that have already device drivers for this, but we also have open APIs. So if you are a developer and you want to create your own custom control, you can do that. And we also have software for light users. So for example, an IP remote on your network, we do have access to that. And that's also a free application you can download from the App Store. I would be remiss if I did not highlight mirroring, which is a really big deal in our line because we are the first professional display that supports both Chromecast and Apple AirPlay 2 at the same time. So this is perfect for corporate and your meeting room space and education. A lot of students are using your Google Chromebooks. You can cast to those displays, and even in hotel operations, you can mirror to your display. And no need for external boxes, which is also really awesome. So in summary, we have a lot of options. I know I kind of did a little highlight on our Pro Bravia display, but we do have 43 inches all the way to 85 inches. We have touchscreen overlays available from 55 inches all the way to 75 inches. We don't make anything lower than 4K. Again, picture quality is key. So 4K all the way, IP control, network control, we're TAA compliant, portrait or landscape, tons of features. If you have questions on our Pro Bravia display, again, do not hesitate to reach out. And I know we have a Q&A at the end that we will discuss in a little bit more detail. And then I have all of the links here, my contact information, our Pro Bravia website, and our tech website. And additionally, highlighting our product manager if you have more technical questions.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Kianna. I said your name correctly, right?
Yes, Kianna, you're good.
Okay, let's see. One quick question. I was impressed with the triluminous display. So getting the logos and things like that correct when it comes to conference rooms and branded areas within a hotel or within a school or corporation. Can that be done all like right out of the box, or will you have to go through and configure each one to make sure the color is correct?
So it's configured automatically out of the box. You can use our standard color templates, but you can get down into the nitty gritty and adjust different hues and contrasts and all of that stuff. And then we also support Kalman color calibration as well. So you can really fine tune it based on your needs.
Okay. And in regards to the room automation, could you explain more about that?
Sure. So room automation is basically done with our Pro Bravia display and our Pro settings. So built into our display, we have wake on signal, we have power schedules, optimizing your PC if you're using video conferencing. But additionally, with room control, we do work with third parties like Crestron, Extron, and Kramer to make room automation possible. So tons of different options. I would say work with your local Sony reps or your account managers to really discuss what room automation is best for you and your needs.
Okay. Last question, because we have like a minute left. Can you tell us, I know you have the case study coming up, but can you tell us where some of the locations are that you currently have these displays?
Well, there's a ton. We have a ton of partners that have these displays everywhere. Now you put me on the spot. I hope Jean Lewis is
sorry.
I really have a lot of them. I just don't know which ones I'm allowed to say. So that's the only problem.
Okay, no problem. All right. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes one more time. Okay, so next up, we have Epson and Clear Digital. But did you have any other questions or comments? Kianna?
Oh, I'm good.
Hello?
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Have a great day. And yeah, talk to you in a few more minutes at the end. Okay. I hope everybody is having a decent time. And once again, thank you so much for staying and not running off for lunch or something like that. So next up, we're going to have in the new Tech Lightning round, we have Remy Del Mar, and he is with Epson. Okay. Hi.
Thank you for the introduction. Hi. So I'm Remy Del Mar, and I've been a product manager at Epson for 5 years. I'm in charge of new digital experiences, and that consists of augmented reality and new applications for projectors. Now, I wish that we had a trade show and I could see everyone and the digital signage community in person, but I want to thank you for attending. And before starting, if you were able to attend either Infocom or DSE last couple of years and you happen to stumble upon the Epson booth, you've probably seen what we've done with light scene and laser projection across our portfolio to bring live experiences and applications that are unique and very engaging. If you weren't able to attend, please stay tuned for my next presentation, because I have a lot of visuals and videos that shows how the creative community and digital signage community has pulled together these very unique applications. And I know Gary is a big fan of light scene. He's actually done an article on it. So today I'm going to talk about light scene, Epson's vision in digital signage and digital experiences, and also show what's possible with projectors in this space that's fairly mature and fairly known for specific technology. So with that, that's like a crude representation of, I guess, my way of sort of looking at digital signage. And when we first launched Lightscene 2 years ago, there were a lot of questions even internally for us at Epson as to how do projectors stand out in a space where there is a lot of mature technology that provides digital signage solutions. Now, when we look at digital signage applications from left to right, if you looked at informational to experiential, there are certain technologies that are very good at providing information and clear call to action. What makes projection technology, and of course reinforced by laser and the longevity, very powerful is the fact that you can basically display content on nearly any surface or any material. And light is not bound by a frame, so you can bring any 3D object to life and make that a space for digital signage or a digital experience. Now, on the high end of our portfolio, we have our high brightness projectors with interchangeable lenses and very powerful software solutions that can enable those experiences. On the lower end, however, we just recently introduced new signage solutions to reduce the cost of into these new and unique applications. And also, of course, Epson as an industry leader, we work very closely with end users and our integrators to showcase what's possible with projection technology in this space. So this year, and with today's announcement with Lightscene, we introduced 8 new projector solutions that are focused on signage. Of course, this can be done across our portfolio. However, these ones at the basic level are also packed with software solutions that can basically remove friction points. I think Wayne mentioned that retail has the largest TAM for digital signage. We've also seen that data point everywhere, and unfortunately, they may be also least familiar with different types of display technology. So we really wanted to have basic, easy to use, affordable signage solutions to tackle those unique applications. So with the value of laser and having longevity and being relevant, also our software solutions can help create and manage content for these projectors. Now, of course, all of our projector solutions work with BrightSign players and other players out there, but we wanted to have an out-of-box experience as a whole product solution for our customers. And I'll talk about those briefly in a bit. So for the purpose of today, we picked Lightscene because it's unique. It looks like a spotlight, and it provides a flexible solution that can be mounted into a track lighting to get powered up. It has a ball joint, so it can be installed and the image can be moved around. And it can be edge blended to create a larger image, or it can have a very small image with overlay filters using our software to create, again, those unique experiences for visual merchandising, wayfinding, and more. The new Lightscene is also packed with some new features. We have a lot of proof of concepts and pilots in the channel, so we didn't want to deviate too far to a completely different form factor. The new Lightscene is brighter, and it also has a motion sensing capability, which enables it to switch from playlist to playlist. And also it increases the longevity of the projection life or the optical life engine, because it doesn't have to be on the whole time, assuming that the setting is set so that it can turn off when there is no motion sensed by the projector. Some more on the the motion sensing capability is basically manageable through the operating system. It can be set so that it can trigger one playlist to another. So let's say when there's no one present, there's no wayfinding information on the floor, but as soon as traffic is sensed, that information can be displayed onto the floor. It could be used in a fitting room where when people are present, they can learn about the latest promotions or the sizes available to create operational efficiency. So the applications can be unlimited in those scenarios with the motion sensing capability. I wanted to also show some visuals of how we've seen some of applications being used. I couldn't use the actual videos, so some of these are basically canned videos. But you can see that in the era of basically social distancing, it can be used as a way of providing information about, or as a reminder. The image to the right is actually our Toyoshima plant in Japan, where they actually do use projection on the elevator, so that once the badge is scanned, the elevator can open. Other ways of using light scene, I mentioned like one of the unique thing about it is industrial design. For places where aesthetically are very sensitive and they want a solution that fits in well and blends well in the environment. So they can be connected to a lighting tract and provide information about checking, reservations. It could also be an experience where they can keep kids occupied while parents are tending to their tasks. In schools or back of the house, in hotels and other places can also be used again. So since we're in a pandemic and it's a stress test on a lot of people, some of these examples are specific to that, to provide educational information about this particular situation, and also be used as a reminder for the staff members to stay safe and cautious. Projection again is unique. I mentioned that it's not bound by a frame, and so for space optimization for places that are peculiar and messaging is required, projection can be used as a visual indicator to help create experiences without being physically intrusive to a space. Now, of course, their projection on glass comes up a lot for us. We have partners like Glass Media and Lux Labs that have solutions that are some are end-to-end or are films and can be used to optimize a place to provide marketing and information. Image to the right is actually light scene used on one of our own printers in-house, and I can provide context for visual merchandising so that the product can speak for itself and create some value and information while providing customer service and context for customers. Another actual example, this is Long Beach Library here. It's the latest, the new library that they built, and they're using light scene for not only signage in their Maker's Mark section where teenagers are learning new crafts, but also they're using it as a way of displaying information about how certain tools are being used. Another example is a project we did with a higher ed design school where students are using light scene to do a video choreography of their project. So you can see, like for architects and designers, it can be a very cool medium in combination with like static stuff to project content and tell their stories. So I mentioned at the beginning that we wanted to remove friction points. So we have an app that we launched a few months ago. This app basically enables people, it comes with preloaded content that is customizable and completely modifiable. It's very much like Adobe. So multiple layers can be chosen from within the app, or customers can upload their own content. There is a manual 4 points correction that enables the user or the integrator to basically fit the image by using touch and iOS within a frame. It comes with effects, so for when showcasing is required for visual merchandising, again, we're targeting retailers as the largest TAM, and also with those who have the largest pain point to engage people with their products or brands. And kind of like Instagram and other tools that we're familiar with, it taps into your built-in keyboard for customizable messaging. The other companion software is our content management app. If customers want to just sort of right off the bat use it, it enables creation of playlists. It comes with overlay filters, and those can be colors or shapes. And basically what that does, as you can see, and I know we're running out of time, so I'm trying to rush through these, is that, for example, in the case of this coffee video, it's a 16:9 video, and it has coffee, milk, and froth, but the overlay filter channel masks part of the video, so all you can see is this coffee cup with dynamic content behind it. It has a basic scheduling function. So once playlists are created, customers are able to schedule it. So in the morning, it can switch to HDMI or network connection for live traffic feed. And the afternoon, it can switch to operating hours for the next day. And the content then, once built, it can be exported into either an SD card or USB stick for Lightscene SD card or network folder. This is a good example of how one of our partners is using two different display technologies to provide a whole product solution for Sonos at their store. But you can see that there are two different speakers there. It's touch-free. Customers can hover over one speaker, get information about that on the flat panel. And then if they decide to buy, they can scan the QR code by that speaker, and the projected content on the table is actually with Lightscene. So this is a good way of them combining different display technologies to provide one visual merchandising solution. And oh, by the way, solving an operational efficiency situation where customers may buy the wrong product and have to return it. I put a link there for the Vimeo link, so if you'd like to see more of this video, they have a lot of good examples on their Vimeo channel. And with that, that's the end of my presentation for Lightscene. I hope you stay tuned for our next presentation. Also, we have a video case study that's going to play at the end of that presentation, which is the implementation of Lightscene and our Pro L projectors at IKEA.
Hi, perfect. I was looking forward to your presentation because while working over at one of the hotels, we were looking at projection options, and I can tell you right now that you guys have made major advancements. Okay, we have a couple questions. Let's see, Marcos. Let's see, Terenzio, sorry if I got the name wrong, wanted to know, is there a higher resolution option for Lightscene other than 720?
Lightscene right now is 720p. However, we do have another standard throw projector at 4200 lumens that's coming in early January, and it's already been announced. And it has the same functionality as Lightscene.
Okay, thank you. Can Lightscene, let's see, can you use Lightscene from one controller, or do you have all the projector, or do all the projectors have to be adjusted or addressed separately? So sorry, did you understand that?
Let me rephrase, and maybe are they asking if you have multiple projectors, they may need a system to adjust all of them at once, otherwise they would have to do them individually.
Oh, okay.
There may need to be a back-end system that can help adjust all of them at once. But I think that's how I understand the question.
Yes, that's what we're going for. Okay, let's see. Are the media players built into each one of the players, or the projectors, each one of the projectors?
Yeah, we have this basic media player for direct playback function. I mentioned it can play back from an SD card or USB, depending on the projector or network drive. However, like I said, all of our projectors also work with like bright sign if something a little bit more with horsepower or more sophisticated is required.
That's good. Okay, next question. Is the Epson Lightscene projector bright enough for retail environments and have the scene, sorry, trying to figure out some of the wording, sorry. Is the Epson Lightscene projector bright enough for retail environments? Let's start with that.
That's a very good question, and I have to say that it depends. So I mentioned our partner Glass Media, and I showed some examples of how Lightscene is being used. The Long Beach library is pretty bright. That printer video, I actually did that one in the office with a lot of fluorescent lighting. But I think distance, how much sunlight is coming through, all those stuff can impact. And also, what is the customer's desire? Sometimes we had a customer actually who said, I don't want a bright display because I want people to focus on the products. So I want it to be more pastel. So I think it's more of a consultative approach to that question.
Okay, well, we'll have a few more questions for you at the end of the display discussion. So we're going to have up next Steve Gallant from Clear Digital.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction there. And thank you for taking the time to join us here at the first ever design conference. My name is Zach Stewart, and I'm the Market Development Manager and Direct LED Specialist here at Clear Digital. I'm joined both by Peter Taylor, our Director of Strategic Initiatives, and Steve Gallant, our Virtual Digital Sales Manager. Digital is a digital signage and direct-view LED manufacturer providing unique turnkey hardware and software solutions to all major markets. We are an exclusive brand from ClearTouch, which is the largest US-owned and operated interactive and digital signage display manufacturer. By continuing the legacy of value and innovation we are known for through these new solutions, we also have a direct sales and support team across the entire US with immediate access to on-site and virtual demonstrations like you'll see today to help support your next project. We also have sold and support throughout the globe and US through our distribution partners like Wesco, Liberty AV, Annixter, Accutech, and CSC. Our products are really where our innovation story comes to life. Today, you will see solutions from our professional virtual demonstration studios, which you also can access on your own time by scheduling a time for a live demo on our website. In this session, we'll cover our View Direct-View LED product, Gel, our automatic hand sanitizing digital signage station, Evo Roll, our mobile digital signage display solution, and our new Show content creation and management software. All these solutions are in stock and shipping across the US today. Our team and our solutions serve and support all major markets, spanning across corporate, healthcare, hospitality, retail, security, education, entertainment, transportation, traffic management, and yes, even esports. So without further ado, I want to pass this over to our virtual demo studios at our headquarters in Greenville, South Carolina, and introduce you to Steve Gallant, our virtual digital sales manager.
Awesome, thanks, Zach. Yeah, we'll take a quick look from the studio here. We've got all kinds of fun products to play with. We'll definitely try and get some of those questions answered for you guys as well. So I'm just going to run through these couple smaller products and then we'll end with one of our largest products as well. And like I said, we definitely want to get some of those questions answered for you guys too. But the first one up here is one of our newest products called Gel. This is a digital signage display as well as a hand sanitizer unit built into that as well. You've got a nice bright 21.5-inch display on there and then that sanitizer station down there below. This is available as a wall mount, but also on an optional stand with that as well to be able to have that out where you need it, certainly in the front lobbies of, certainly education, but anywhere, retail, pretty much anywhere that you need. So if there ever was a 2020 product, I guess this fits into that category with that as well. So I've got one here in the studio. Like I said, the first thing that stands out is that bright 21.5-inch display on there. You've got that sanitizer unit down here. This is a very robust unit as well. Everything on here is a metal frame construction with this. It's got locking access here as well for the public space use. You've got internal cable management. The signage is actually being powered by an Android player that's integrated directly into the display. This is Wi-Fi capable as well as Ethernet capable on there. And it can play a couple different forms of content. We do have a local media player that's included with the display. There's a couple USB ports. We can accept USB media to play on there, of course. But we do have a content management system from Clear Digital. We'll show that here in just a second, called Clear Digital Show. But being just an Android-based player, you do have the ability to install Android player APKs on here to be able to work with a third-party system to be able to get your content and media on there as well. So, but like I said, you've got a nice bright, you've got the 5-liter tank in here, nice big tank to be able to hold all of the sanitizer liquid. We do also source and sell the sanitizer liquid. There's a couple starter packages that come with different content, and that is a subscription service. We can have it with that as well. But you've also got variable output on the motor. This will also notify you with an email and a notification when your product is getting low on the actual sanitizer. And you do also get some notifications of how many times that motor has been triggered if we are doing some different ROI calculations on some of the signage that's actually on there as well. Like I said, you've got cable management here running down through the actual display. You've got both cable management for the stand. The stand actually bolts to the floor as well for that extra security and stability. But if we're mounted to the wall, there's also the locking box there on the back of the wall. So really cool display. Like I said, that nice bright screen on the front of there. If there ever was a 2020 product, I think that's it. So the next one I want to show you guys is a pretty unique product for us as well. This is one of our newer products called the Evo Roll. And this is very, very unique to Clear Digital. This is a portable battery-powered digital signage display. This actually has a 14+ hour battery life on there. You've got a nice bright 1080p resolution display with this one as well. I've got one of those here in the studio. A little bit larger format. This is a 40-inch display here. Obviously, the idea with this one is almost that digital sandwich board. Being able to take this where you need that signage, really the key there, the star of the show is that battery pack, being able to access that content wherever you need. So like I said, 14+ hour battery life. It is weather and impact resistant, so it can stand up to a light rain shower on there, being able to drag that signage wherever you need it. The way we play content is a very similar story to what we have on the other device, the Gel, as well. There is a local media player that's included by default that can play simple USB media, both images and video files on there. But this does have the ability to also be upgraded to a Wi-Fi player from Clear Digital to access our Clear Digital Show software, or the same case here with the third-party software with that as well. You do have some security measures on here as well. You've got the ability to lock both of the wheels on there, and then there is also cable tie-down points for that on there. And like I said, on the back of the display, I'll kind of zoom in here nice on the back of the display. I've just got a clear display case back on here, but you can see some of the internals on there. I just have a third-party player in here just as an example. Typically, this is not clear. You would see the black case back on there. But that does allow you to put in some players. You can draw both 9 and 12 volt power from the battery packs. And then there's a standard HDMI input for the display to be able to work with your third-party players there as well. Or like I said, there is an updated player from Clear Digital. So really cool. A couple smaller signs there. Like I said, especially that Evo, being able to take that. I know today everybody's enter and exit for their buildings is changing constantly. Traffic flow in supermarkets, like you see there as well. These signs are pretty cool to be able to have that there. So the next one that I want to show you guys is that software, like we talked about, the Clear Digital Show software. And so this is a pretty cool software. It's a very light version of our digital signage software. I've got that running over here on my laptop just off camera. But essentially what we're able to do is we're able to communicate with all those devices, the Gel as well as the Evo, as well as some of our other displays that we'll talk about here in a minute. But it's very, very simple. We really wanted to bring digital signage management to the masses with this, making the interface as simple as possible. So over here on the left, we'll just walk through a couple of things on there. I've got my media tab here, so I have all of my different content and media. I can sort these by folders. There are premium templates available for purchase as well. If I want to go in and build some content in here, we can also do that. This has a full template builder. Everything is very, very simple, very drag and drop. I can prepare this horizontal, or I can go portrait mode as well if I want to for some of our portrait displays that we just showed you there as well. You do have full access to our Pixabay content as well, 1.8 million photos on there, a lot of stock media, all of those licensed and free to use for your signage through this software. And certainly you can get pretty granular with making your templates. Everything here as well is also organized into playlists. So very easy to drag and drop your content into that playlist if you need to there. So very, very simple. And then also you've got your device management as well. You can go through and add your devices very simply with that code from the media player to be able to add those there as well. So definitely some cool options there with the Show software, and that works, of course, with all the Clear Digital products, but also through the APK, you could install that on your existing platforms as well to be able to get that media to your devices. So the last thing I want to show here real quick, and we'll actually spend some good time on this one. This is kind of the crown jewel of the Clear Digital line here, is our Direct View LED wall system. So this is a really exciting new product for Clear Digital. This is our large format displays. They are available in 4 different sizes on here. You've got a 110-inch, a 138, 165, and then a 220-inch display as well on there. And these are an all-in-one digital wall solution here. So we're taking a lot of your existing video wall hardware and combining it into one. This also has an internal Android processor that allows us to play a lot of our software, including the Clear Digital Show software, natively on the panel. It also coincides with some of our software that some of you may know us from on our interactive display lineup as well. We do have things like our collage software for being able to screen share up to 6 different devices. That's actually built directly into that view video wall there as well. So really cool technology. But one of the things that really sets us apart here in that market as well is our proprietary technology called Pixel Guard. And so this is a technology that actually encapsulates each one of those LEDs on the LED wall, adds to the durability of the product, especially if this is going to be in a public area where there may be contact with the display. We want to have that extra durability, but we've got this down to a science now, and it doesn't affect any of the viewing angles or any of the clarity of the display. If not, it actually enhances it with that as well. But really adding to that peace of mind with a pretty large investment with some of these LED video walls. Having that pixel guard is going to allow for the individual pixels not to be so vulnerable and chip off of the display. So that's something that we're really proud about here as well. So I do have one out here in my showroom. I have the 138-inch display there. I'm actually partnering that with one of our 75-inch panels from our ClearTouch interactive panel lineup there, just as an example of what we can do. But I want to invite Zach Stewart back on the line here as well. Zach really is the expert of all things direct view LED. So Zach, if you want to highlight a few more of the features there, some of the stuff we have built in, and then really how we fit in to that competitive landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Steve. I think you did an excellent job introducing View here. Piggyback off of a little bit of what Steve shared here, View is the only all-in-one LED solution in the country that utilizes technology like Pixel Guard. Again, Pixel Guard is that impact-resistant protective adhesive layer, and that layer really provides extra security, protecting both your investments, hardware and financial, into direct view LED. Really, when comparing our solution to the competitive products, we innovate differently by providing not only Pixel Guard, but also developing our own best-in-class direct view LED display, our own send and receive card processing system, and our own built-in 3-in-1 board. All of these technical advances allow us to have both a more power-efficient system, better color reproduction without a crushed grayscale, and a higher serviceable and supported system throughout its entire lifespan, since we don't require any third-party manufacturers here to support our product. View Direct View LED also solves all of the pain points that come inherent with traditional projection and flat screen LCD display technologies. We have higher brightness, so everyone can see our image clearly. We don't have any glare or washout from the lighting or intrusive sun. Our product lasts extremely long, 100,000 hours half-life, lasts anywhere from 7, 10 to even 20 years if it's maintained appropriately. There's also no intrusive bezels or lines making your content difficult to see. And the best of all, due to the power of direct view LED, combined with our best-in-class video processing engine, the display and content looks absolutely amazing in person. It is truly eye-catching to any audience. You know, we can only show so much on camera here, but it's something really to see in person. With all these factors combined, by providing the best-in-class technology, our low pricing, and our massive sales and support partnerships, this really should make View and Clear Digital a clear choice for your next project. I know this is only a brief intro to all things Clear Digital has to offer, so I want to make sure that you reach out to us at getcleardigital.com or email us at sales@getcleardigital.com with any questions on pricing or project inquiries. I know we look forward to bringing unique value into your next project. Or if you want to set up your own live demo, as Steve is pointing out here, you can click that link and schedule a time on your own to go through this exact same demonstration one-on-one with your team.
Okay, hi, Zach and Steve. That was awesome. I had not heard of your displays or your system before, so that was definitely educational. Let's see. I was just wondering with the mobile displays, Steve, you want to answer this one? Do you have tracking on those?
Sorry, say that again. The mobile displays have tracking?
Yeah, do they have tracking on them?
Oh, gotcha. Sorry. There's nothing natively built into the actual mobile displays as far as GPS tracking on there. That could potentially be enabled through the player that you choose to utilize with both of those as well. So that's something we can look at, but I don't think that there's native tracking. As far as like content tracking, we do have the ability through that show software to be able to track what is actually being played. You can actually get confidence as well to be able to log in and see the content that's being played, even calculate some of the ROI as far as which images have been displayed how many times. So I'm not sure the exact definition you were asking for there, but there should be a couple ways with that.
Well, both of those were good answers. Okay. I really like the idea that you had for the displays with the hand sanitizer with it. Nice job on user experience research, because being able to provide a email to the end user to notify them what needs to be done and when is usually a big problem with anything that's self-service. So nice job with that one.
Exactly.
Okay. Going back to the mobile display, what about USB locks? So let's say, for instance, you have your mobile display placed out in front of your store. Is it possible for anyone security-wise to change the USB, or does it have a USB lock or anything like that?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good question. So I suppose there's a couple ways that you can do this. I'll actually show you the back of the display here again. So you've actually got, the way that we've done it here, you do have a weather sealed USB port, and there is a screw down cap on there. I don't know that we have an accessory right now to actually make that locking. We potentially could have, it's just a standard thread on there, so we could almost have a keyed lock. That's actually a pretty good idea. But however, if you are concerned about that out of the box, you do have the ability to disconnect that USB from the player if you needed to, especially if you have a Wi-Fi enabled player that you're just going to be adding content over the web as well. That would be an option there. But yeah, I'll definitely look into the ability to actually lock down that USB port.
Okay. And last statement, it was about View and Pixel Guard. Awesome too. For that one, how large are the video displays? Like, can it be customized, or is there a standard size associated with it?
Yeah, so
so there's four standard sizes. It starts at 110 inch, 138 inch, 165 inch, and 220 inch.
Okay.
Currently, we're not providing a custom solution on that out of the box yet, but we are able to respond to certain custom requests as they come in.
Well, I am definitely looking forward to seeing that display. So when you get one in Vegas, or if you have one in Vegas, please let me know where it is.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think we're about to go back to the group, so please get those questions in. Okay. Let's see, ladies and gents, would you have any questions for each other to start this part of the questions? Anybody?
I'm good.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we're good.
Okay, Remy, I have a couple questions for you. Have you seen any great use of the 3D projection mapping of objects using your projector?
So my next presentation actually is going to show a lot of different applications where 3D mapping is taking place. I'd say it all depends on the industry. For example, in entertainment, I have an example of a hologram that's being done with our high-end projectors to bring an opera singer from the 1970s to life, Roy Orbison, and that was a tour that was done. So I thought that was a really cool application of merging two eras and bringing something from the past to present. There are a lot of other applications in visual merchandising. We've tried to do a lot of that sort of at our trade shows based on examples or conversations we've had with customers. I also have an example of that. For example, how do you provide context behind a product? How do you move from cost to value by showing what's possible with the specific object when customers are looking at it, educating them about it as well, or showing what other colors or variations are available. So that's like a small scale and big scale examples in two different industries.
Okay. What was the name of your next session again, so people can find out more?
how projection technology is changing customer experiences.
Okay, is that today or tomorrow?
It's today, and it's, I think, in about 13 minutes, if I'm not wrong.
Perfect. Okay, one more question is, let's see, is there a ceiling pole mount option for light scene, or is it track mounting only?
No, it comes with actually a direct mount solution, so it can be directly mounted to a wall, floor, or ceiling. It also comes with a floor mount, meaning like if someone wants to just sit it on a surface as opposed to mount it, there is an accessory for that as well.
Okay. One of the issues that we ran into, and I see this happening in other locations, would be if there are certain architectural features that are predominant in an environment, such as like, have you ever been to the Venetian? Or like a lot of the hotels on the Strip, or even digital signage being used in Europe in older architecture. Is there ways to hide the like tracking or the shape of the device in order to implement it within the architectural and design without going, woo, there's a projector there?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a biggest pain point is the aesthetics of a place. And, you know, laser projection has come a long way. So when we launched the original light scene 2 years ago, and I want to say it's about 15 pounds. And this year I launched a 2000 lumen projector at about 8 pounds. So the engine is going to get smaller and smaller and brighter. With the ultra short throw that we launched a couple months ago, it has like a lens protrusion where you can actually hide the body in a ceiling tile and just have the lens stick out. And that was also with the intention that a lot of people want to not to see the hardware and just experience what the output is. But light scene, unfortunately, it's based on, it's possible to hide it, but you have to account for heating and all that stuff that goes along with it.
Thank you. Okay, let's see, does Brava display support signage in portrait mode? Kianna?
Okay, I'm guessing that's a question for me.
Yes, it's for you.
Okay, perfect. So Bravia displays do support content in portrait or landscape orientation. Of course, depending on the platform, you would want to make sure a platform also supports this. But as far as the hardware capabilities of our Pro Bravia display, you can mount it either way, portrait or landscape.
Okay.
And you, sorry, one more thing. You asked me in the past Q&A about a list of a couple of customers. So I did get a list of a couple that I could say. So we have Rice University, the U.S. Army, New York Yankees, Harvard, and then of course Cantor is going to be presenting tomorrow on our Bravia signage server. So they are also a customer. So we have a lot of them.
Yes, okay. Let's see, we have a question for Scott here. Can Clear Touch portable signage run off of 110 volts, saving battery life?
Yes, it can. So it can be powered by, of course, the battery pack on there with a 14+ hour battery life, but it can also run continuously while plugged into the included charger. It actually has a SpeakCon connector, so it locks in place there as well. So you can certainly run that without seamless interruption in your content. You can plug that in if it's getting low.
Okay, and we have a couple minutes here. Does anybody else have any comments or questions that would last about 2 minutes? Nobody? Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And I was just wondering, after this, what next conferences will you be participating in, or when will we see you guys again outside of the design conference time? We can start with Kianna.
So what if I'm participating in any more live events?
Exactly. Or anything coming up in the near future that people can come and see you.
Sure. So Sony supports Technology Tuesdays every Tuesday. We just had one today. So if you want to tune into that, I am one of the presenters, but it's not just me. It's a whole network of Sony reps, whether it be product managers or even third-party guests. We get down and dirty on technology and have discussions on specific solutions. So tune into that. We can send out the link in one of the reference guides, but it's Sony Technology Tuesday webinars.
That'd be perfect. Remy?
I mean, on behalf of Epson, it's hard for me to tell because we have 13 different business divisions. But for projectors and for point of sales, in January there's NRF, and last year we tried to really combine display technology and point of sale in terms of how to create a retail experience end to end. And then in February we are actually doing a webinar with Avixa. I'm going to have one speaks to more of this sort of unique experiences possible using projection technology. Different content than today, so don't think I'm going to be doing a rinse and repeat. And then there's, of course, Infocom.
Okay. And Scott and I forgot his name. Sorry. Scott and your
Zach's on
partner.
here as
Do you
well.
guys have any comments?
Yeah.
Zach,
No,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be at some trade shows coming up. I don't have the list in front of me, but we do have a list on our website, which our website is getcleardigital.com. We'll be at most of those. That's what I do. I live in the studios here, but even easier way though to get a hold of me, especially if you want to learn some more about our products. I know we are kind of the new kid on the block in this space, but just go to our website, getcleardigital.com. You'll see up in the corner again that button there for the live demo link. We run those all day long. We have several studios here. You see all the camera angles and everything we can show. We don't just do this for conferences. We do this for each individual customer. We can customize this for you. So like I said, we would love to talk more in detail about that and get some of those questions answered for you.
Thank you so much. Please note, for additional people who are just joining us or have been watching for a while, a lot of new users in digital signage really like the one-on-one or 101 type beginning courses. So if you can add that or make sure you have the information provided for new digital signage users to follow up on, that'd be great. Thank you.